We just shame each other. And one thing that I have started to see people shame other people about, I'm going to get in trouble for this too, but people are shaming other people who spank their kids, right? And we all know there's a difference between abusing a child and spanking a child, right? And it's your call, right? You don't have to spank your kid. You can use timeouts and whatnot. You do whatever you want to do. You raise your kid however you want to. You don't have to spank them. You're probably raising an asshole. But that's your call. Right? I was in a restaurant and I was sitting waiting for my waiter to come over. And she was at a table where there was a married couple and their kid, and the kid was on his iPad, right? And the waiter was sitting there waiting to get their drink order, and the mother was looking at the kid going, Caden, what do you want to drink? Caden, put that down. What do you want to drink? You want Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Caden, do you want Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Caden, put that down. Caden, I'm so sorry. Caden, you're being rude. Put that down. Do you want Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Caden, put that down. Caden, what do you want to drink? You want Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Caden, talk to me. Caden, what is your decision? Do you want Sprite or Dr. Pepper? Caden, put that down. I'm really sorry. Caden, put that down. Caden, put it down. I'm so sorry. Caden, look at me. What do you want? Sprite? And I'm like, hit that little asshole. My father would have taken that iPad, cracked it over my head, and then he'd have looked at the waiter and said, he will have crackers and water when he wakes up. We always knew that my mother was going to whoop our ass whenever she uttered the phrase, I'll be goddamned. When my mother asked the Lord to damn her to hell because of the children that she had pushed through her womb, we knew our asses were grass. And in fact, one day my little sister and I were playing with shaving cream and we were writing on the wall with it. And I knew we were getting our asses whooped, so I went ahead and just wrote, I'll be goddamned on the wall so that when my mother walked in, she would know her line. The worst ass whooping I ever got was actually in church, right? See? Thank you. My mother wanted her children to grow up Presbyterian. Now, my father was a Catholic, but he loved my mother. So he said that was fine. So on Sundays, my mother took her children to the Presbyterian church, and my dad, who was Catholic, just went fishing. Pull in a big fish, crack open one, and say, thank you, Jesus, I love you. But it would always start out sweet. My mother would come in her robe, curlers in her hair, in the dark, and wake me up and say, good morning, Jeffrey. Come on, get up, angel. Come on, baby, wake up. We got to go to church. I want you to get something to eat. And we're going to get dressed, and then we're going to go to church. I don't want to be late. Okay, come on, get up. And she'd walk out, and I would go back to sleep. And she'd come back in a few minutes later, half the rollers out of her hair, some eye makeup done, slip on. Jeffrey, get out of bed. Come on. It's time to get up. We're going to church. Come on. Wake up, Jeffrey. Let's go. It's time to go to church. Get up. Come on. I don't want to come back in here. You need to get something to eat, get dressed, and we're going to go to church. She walks out. I go back to sleep. Comes back in. Turns the light on. Jeffrey, get out of bed. I don't want to be late. Let's go. Let's go to church. It's time. I don't want to be late. You need to get something to eat. Get up. She walks out. I turn the light off, go right back to sleep. Finally, she comes in, all the rollers out, dressed half on, half her makeup on. She comes in, turns on the light, turns up the stereo, opens the blinds, and says, Jeffrey, get out of that bed. We're going to church. God damn it. So it didn't start off well. And I was a complete asshole the whole time we were in church, right? Like I would lay down on the pew. My mother would have to smack me on the ass to get me up, you know. There was a woman behind us. You know, there's always that one woman in church that sings like she's in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, you know. So she was right behind us, and she was all like, glow. And I'm in front of her like, you know. Being a little asshole. Well, communion comes. And see, in the Presbyterian Church, we don't do communion like the Catholics. We don't form a chow line down the middle of the church. We stay where we are, and the ushers bring us the little plates with the little pieces of Jesus on it, right? Well, it's what it is. Know why that's so funny? Well, what my mother liked to do was take the plate and hold it while each of her children took one piece, and we'd all eat it together. What a beautiful little Christian family we were. Well, on that day, I took the plate. And my mother said, Jeffrey, give me that plate. And I said, no. And she said, Jeffrey, give me that plate. And I said, no. And she said, Jeffrey, if you don't give me that motherfucking plate right now, I'm gonna beat your ass right here in this fucking church. You understand what I'm saying to you, boy? Give me that plate. So I handed her the plate. She said, okay, now take one. And I took a whole handful. And she said, Jeffrey, I said, what? She said, put that back. I said, no, I'm hungry. You didn't feed me breakfast this morning. And she said, Jeffrey, put that back. I said, no, I'm gonna eat it. She said, you better not. I said, I'm gonna. She said, you better not. I ate it. She said, I'll be goddamned. And I don't remember much after that. I remember her entire hand going over my face and lifting me out of the pew with such force that a little black dress shoe fell behind and started spinning around on the floor. She took me to this room they call the cry room, which is a soundproof room where you take crying babies or children whose asses you need to beat during the service. On the wall, there's a painting of Jesus holding a lamb and a belt. We walked in, and there was a woman named Debbie beating her son Jeremy. She and my mother said hello to each other and then tag teamed Jeremy and me. Thank you. And what I will tell you is that I am not a violent man, right? I don't have any leftover emotions about that day. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I never misbehaved in church again. In fact, the next Sunday, my mother was a little startled when she opened the door to my room and saw me sitting up in bed in the dark, fully dressed. And she said, "Jeffrey, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, Mommy, I'm just ready to go to church." Because when you spank your kids, they develop English accents. It's not something everybody knows. So what I'm saying is, don't let people shame you. If you want to spank your kid, spank your kid. If I go into a Walmart and some kid isn't getting his ass whooped in the frozen food section, I don't feel like I live in America anymore. That's what I'm saying.